how's everybody doing? You guys ready for this game? We're going to be getting started here pretty soon. We got AmazingAmpharos with the Link sprite and Problems with the beloved Frog sprite, which originally was my favorite until Garfield showed up.
Both starting off in Sanctuary, keeping it easy on us. Don't have to track them, picking up things in sequence in different spots of the world. Something important to note too, this is a winners match. Both these individuals did win their first round, so they do pair up the winners against each other for the second round.
I'm liking this routing option so far. We're already seeing the no Houlihan strat since Houlihan is dead in version 26. We're also seeing two different types of ways about getting that first tier tree pull. A lot of magic so far. Wow.
Yeah. Some small magic and then half magic from the crab.
Okay.
One got a B though, and one didn't, and that B is being really obnoxious.
And I think that was a small shield.
Yeah, that was a small shield, so probably no mirror shield in this run.
So he did get hit by the B. Does that reset the whole system, the whole tree pull system?
I mean, I know there's a tier where you take damage. I don't know if that damage is before or after you get a kill.
Ooh, wow. Now that's a convenient drop.
Probably won't matter too much, yeah, if you get an 8 drop like that. Or an 8 ball if you're into billiards.
Hey, look, they could already save and quit and go do escape. The back of escape right now.
Oh. Be an interesting play, too. Hey, they both have bombs, they could do it. That actually would be a pretty efficient route, too, because you wouldn't have to go south out of the forest. Looks like Hearts was the tier 2 drop from the trees.
Nice. Well, I guess we can just kind of sit back, because both our players are going to be slowly working their way through Kakariko Village. Nothing really exciting goes on in here. Maybe we'll find a sword. Maybe a couple boomerangs. I don't know. Rupees.
Or a lamp.
That's nice. Hey, there it is. There's Houlihan Cave, right there, in that chest, in the bottom right. Wonderful.
A little extra, too. I mean, the first chest here, everyone's going to do them, but it's kind of important. I think with this logic, it kind of starts to really tell the story of where you need to go.
What story is that? What's it telling you right now?
I'm just saying, if they got a book right now, you better...
I'm asking you. You have these 2 items already. Where do you want to go?
I mean, you have, again, escape. That's another interesting option, too, because kind of both the things that are locking that have also become available with the glove and the lamp.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, that book, if they got that, that'd be really telling me desert. And then also, you might just have progress up the mountain, too, right now.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Hey, there's a sword. All right, nice. So that'll allow them to clear escape a lot easier whenever they make their way down there. But yeah, I was like, glove, lamp, that's Death Mountain right there. But at this time, they only really have, 2 items that they can check? Hey, bottle vendor having a bottle.
An empty bottle, wow. All right.
What a guy. Also want to point out we had 2 crystals and 1 pendant in the light world. I think desert was pendant, and then eastern I think was 5.
Yeah, it looks like
was 1.
Our tracker through dude is friggin' on it. He got those quicker than I even saw the map.
Okay, eastern was 5. Got it. Sweet. Looks like Problem's gonna go pick up some extra bombs. Not a bad play.
Be interesting if that money comes into play later, because I don't think AA is going to need to pick up those bombs because he got that really lucky 8 drop.
Yeah, he just picked up another 3 to cap his bomb bag off.
All right. Only $20 from the sick kid, so I guess you could say it was just an $80 bottle.
All right, that's it for Kakariko for now. We'll be back here maybe later once we get a flute, once we want to go to the Dark World. The real question is, how are our players going to route next? Are they going to go straight to escape? Are they going to go up Death Mountain? Are they going to follow the normal path of going down to South Shore, checking the dam, and then checking Mini Moldorm Cave? This is where we might finally see a little divergence, which is what we want to see. Because this isn't standard. Come on. It's open.
Are you sure? They already have a sword.
It's open. It's in the title. It's somewhere right here. Also, interesting play by... Okay, these guys clearly play against each other a lot, or talk about it a lot, or something, because they're doing the exact same thing.
Hey, you know, if you have the bombs, it'd save you time in the long run if there's something good there, so, you know, a chance to save 5 seconds or lose 5 seconds, that's your gamble. It's not really a risky one to make.
That's interesting. I really want to, yeah, I wonder how big of a difference that makes. Can't be much. But yeah, if you got extra bombs, might as well.
But you might be right about them playing a lot, because they do both appear to be going to check the back chest and Sanctuary. And again, that glove and lamp was a little bit of a tale of maybe this is where you need to go.
I'm like 5 seconds away from calling collusion.
Wow, there's
I'm
the
gonna call Bo.
Ooh, and the key
lamp.
too.
Yeah, well, that's definitely gonna turn into a Sahasrahla Eastern play at this point. You'd be silly not to.
Oh yeah, you get everything you need to clear it, and it is a crystal, and one of the big bomb crystals too, so get that knocked out.
And even if it was a pendant, I'd still be thinking,
I might
Armos
need to go there,
Armos with an item, maybe? I don't know. Why would they give me Bo this early? I find myself constantly asking the logic itself, like, hey, logic, why'd you do this? Am I supposed to do this next or this next? Sometimes they give me an answer, sometimes they do.
Yeah, sometimes it's like, this is a randomizer. Stop asking me silly questions.
I don't owe you anything.
Oh, it's just a map in the back of Escape.
Alright, now can we see some player divergence? No, he's gonna go to Link's house.
I guess
they
with
haven't
that...
even...
Sorry, I was just gonna say with the map being in the back of Escape, I guess the front of Escape's all 3 of those chests would have to be items, but you did get the bow here, so it is kind of saying, hey, why don't you go do this, because this is progress towards, you know, beating the game.
Also, interesting routing option, saving Link's house for 7 minutes in. You never know. You know, what if like boots were in there? You know, something valuable was in there.
What if the Triforce was in there? This race could have been over.
Man, what if the Triforce, dude? That'd be great. Want something?
Ooh.
Dark Palace. Green Pendant Pod.
So that adds even more value to Pod, but Pod is a
Yeah.
very time-consuming dungeon.
Well, the nice thing is they already have the bow, so that's good. That they can actually clear all of it, except for Helmasar whenever they get the chance to go there.
And for the most part, too, the hammer doesn't like to hide itself that much. It does lock a lot of things, but we've seen it be a little bit more tricky in these open seeds as of lately.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ice Palace might be the worst spot to find that hammer. It's terrible.
Yes. I've had that or like Inside Mire for some reason.
Oh, God.
I know, right? It's terrible.
Well, let's see what we'll find in Eastern here. Do you have any predictions?
Let's see. Well, there's still a hammer and a moon pearl away from the Dark World. There's still a glove and a moon pearl away from the Dark World. I want to see a book.
A book? Yeah, a book would be
and then
nice.
Maybe like a bootless, a non-boot required desert palace, because they have a fire source to clear it.
Why don't you just give them the boots and the book, and we'll just say it's an MG and call it a day.
Yeah, I'd be okay with that. Got them a little out of order, but so we'll give it to them.
If I were to guess, I'd think a Moon Pearl was going to appear in here.
How about a shovel?
Well, that was my second guess.
Maybe we can go dig up a heart piece. Maybe we'll go find Dampy. he can come kill the run. Shouts to OOT. Woo.
What game is that? Never played it. I've only played Link to the Past.
I mean, this is obviously not to stir up trouble, but the better game. I mean, just saying. My opinion. So,
They remade OOT after this one, right? Like, come on. They didn't even get the graphics right.
It's a work in progress. I will say though that the 3DS remake is it's good. It's really good. And that and Majora's Mask. I like them both. Anyway,
I'm too old to play on tiny screens.
I got too big of hands. They just don't work.
Right. So that was 2 items in a big key. They have an option to gamble here or go check that other chest.
This is one of the reasons why Eastern is not on my fun list of dungeons to go to, because making this judgment call right here, because this part's so far out of the way if you don't have boots, and then it's just going to be a compass, and you're just going to hate yourself a little bit.
It's fine as long as, your opponent gets the compass as well, because you didn't lose any time. But yeah, you always wonder, did he make this gamble or not? Am I already a minute behind? But
well, we know, like, every little second counts, so every little skip chess one player makes is huge advantage, unless it doesn't pay off. But it's really early in the game. Who's going to make silly gambles like that? Because any chest could be the Moon Pearl. Or it could be a Red Ruby. All right.
He might have needed those.
He probably could have.
Well, Eastern did give him a shovel, but nothing else.
I'm actually still, I don't know. Well, they still have a lot of places to check before Houlihan is completely out of the question. Because they still don't have enough rupees for Zora.
A is pretty close here, and they have the option if they wanted to waste some time, they could go farm a quick 90 right here too, which would be faster than doing Houlihan, but I'd be surprised if they do it.
Nah, Mini Moldorn Cave's gonna have like 200-300s or something. Oh wow, A is going for it. Good call.
That gives him exactly enough to do Zora.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Are my ears ringing, or what was that?
Playing the robot variant of this game. Yeah. This race, they've pretty much done exactly the same thing up to this point. Problem is just, a couple rooms ahead because AA opted to snag the, I guess, 85 rupees in the blue ruby room.
Yeah. And you're already here, you might as well clear this dungeon. Why would you ever?
Right.
Mirror out, well, you can't mirror out, but...
Death Warp out.
Death Warp out. I'll come...
I might have silvers
when I have
later.
the silvers. Yeah, exactly. It's the smart play. It saves time, I promise. Alright, well, let's go... Hopefully they'll go check to see what that shovel is. Though that spot, that spot's a little out of the way, but...
Could do it.
And
I don't know. You also have the option.
Wasn't... The thing is, that shovel wasn't, like, blocked by anything, so that shovel really just counts as an overworld item at this point.
Yes.
So I don't think it has as much value as, like, something that... If the shovel came from, like, Armos Knights or something like that.
So... Problems is going to go up here and head up to... Oh, Escape an Uncle, too, so that's 5 items up here. There's actually a lot of value in doing that. I forgot they don't check Uncle, or they didn't check Uncle at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Alright, a Master Sword. That's pretty nice.
A sword from Uncle. Oh, you know what that... Oh, man. Well...
Yeah. I was thinking it, too.
That's Agatar right now. Not that I would do it yet. You still have a lot of stuff to do, but...
You sure you wanted to give me that Master Sword? How about a hammer and a Moon Pearl?
You're like, no. Take this back. Give me your money.
It's kind of disappointing, too, that they didn't go here first, else Uncle could have been vanilla. So they ruined that for us.
Oh, man.
We could have had a...
Because that's what we want.
100% standard.
Because that's what we want. We want more vanilla in our randomizer. Too much randomizer.
Well, they do say, though, items in their vanilla location, that's kind of the bane of anybody playing randomizer, because it's really the last place you want to look for it. Ooh, there's your Moon Pearl. Alright, so... Escape delivering your Aga 1 package here.
Now, I would... Okay. So at what point do you do Agatar? You're a hammer or a glove away from going to the Dark World. You can also consider the possibility of finding a hook shot, and then that's screaming, hey, if you do Aga Tower, you can go hook shot across the broken bridge to go get the other side. These ideas must be going around our players' minds.
Even without the hook shot, the early bow does make pod a reasonable play to make.
Yeah, that's true.
But
because they can do all of it except for beat it. Now, it's not going to be convenient without a mirror, but early on, health is low, so death warps will be very, very convenient and easy to pull off.
it'll be really interesting if they do decide to pull the trigger on that. I mean, you still have 7 pretty easy chests at large between Dam and Mini Moldorm Cave.
Yeah, I don't expect anyone to jump right into Aga Tower just yet.
It'll be interesting, though, if they decide to explore outside of that before they do go to Aga.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you still have to do Aga, you could still find stuff in those chests that make it a little bit more reasonable to take care of.
Are we seeing the Houlihan?
I think we are. He's got a bomb out. I think he might just be doing Houlihan. He's going to do...
Are we seeing the Houlihan? Oh, man. I thought Houlihan was dead. But it's not. It's back, baby. Good. Good.
This might not be as much as... I mean, I'm sure he wants the item from Zora, but he has the Moon Pearl. If this is indeed an Aga-required seed, he can sequence break by heading into the Waterfall Cave with the Moon Pearl and do Water Walk, and maybe he can get those 2 items and completely skip the sequence altogether.
That is definitely a worthy sequence break. Skipping Aga Tower is that's why sequence breaks exist. You can skip Aga Tower.
That's pretty much what they seem like these days.
Hey, he's a heart.
You called that.
Thanks, Dampe. Appreciate it.
Oh, man. So problems would be probably just following in AA's footsteps here. Wow! A third sword.
That's so nice. Now, if I had to do Aga Tower, it wouldn't be too bad. Tempered Sword makes Aga Tower pretty free. It's already pretty free. But Tempered Sword even better.
Yeah.
Especially just dealing with those, the ball and chain guys at the beginning.
That first room is the most obnoxious. Especially when you have to do it with the fighter sword. It takes like, I think, I counted, it's 300 hits or something.
Give or take,
Okay.
You might have rounded up a little bit, but Ooh, A's got to be careful here. These mini Moldorns will die. And they
He has to be even more careful if he wants to go up to Ice Rod Cave, because he's going to have crabs going. Ooh, that Ice Rod, or the hook shot, wow.
And that full health refill. Alright,
That's convenient.
Hook shot. Aga Tower. Broken bridge. Hook shot.
That Aga play looks really nice right now.
You see what I'm getting at? But I still think the sequence break at this point is very smart to make, especially with that Moon Pearl.
Do you have the spoiler log for this seed? You knew about the heart piece? You knew about the hook shot?
I mean, I am an admin. Just kidding. I'm not. I'm only a secondary admin. I'm like a discount admin.
Yeah. They only give you spoiler logs for the light world when you're secondary admin.
Uh-huh, yeah. It's so I can set up these matches for commentary, for hype. I can make more hype at the beginning.
Don't start that.
Don't start.
Don't believe you.
Nobody believes me. And they shouldn't. I'm a dangerous man. Alright. Ice Rock Cave. Having a heart. That's good. I want to see these water walks. Come on.
Shame they didn't get the boots over there. They could have pulled off the even more interesting trick, which I still haven't quite wrapped my brain about how to pull that one off in a race, but
see,
one day we'll learn.
Even if I get the boots, I'll still forget to do it. Like, oh yeah, that's a thing you can set up. Yeah, it's fun that we're still finding new ways to play this game every day.
Yeah, just all the tricks from this the last tournament to this one. Now you see almost everyone do the Jesus walk. I don't think I ever saw that in the last one till like the very end.
Yeah, I think it was like I maybe saw it once. I mean, definitely the addition of the waterfall fairy caves made it so popular. If those chests didn't exist,
Yes.
no one would ever do it, probably. Oh.
Wow. 20 minutes, Buttersword.
Jeez.
What seed is this?
Well, Buttersword is nice, but I'm sure that's not what he was looking for. He's probably like, close. Can you give me the yellow mitts instead?
Alright, so Buttersword Aga 1, maybe we are playing on the old logic then.
Yeah, maybe. Guys, progressive items are dead, I promise. Kane? Ooh. Alright, well, no sequence break. But those are good items to have.
That's
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that's a really good piece of information to have, that the cane is locked by the flippers, because you can, make some judgments on where things might be previously. Because I mean, the flippers, they don't necessarily need to be locked by anything, but knowing that they lock the cane, that can limit your places of looking for it. They won't be looking for the flippers in Turtle Rock or anything like that.
Or at Vitreous, but it could still be everywhere else in Mire. Now, the problem with Problems routing is that unless he walks all the way back, he's going to be missing that Buttersword.
Ooh, that's a really good point.
Not that Tempered to Butter makes that big of a difference overall. It's still, a few seconds here and there. It's a nice thing to have. It's
a few seconds early in a run, too, so that's when it's going to impact you the most also. I'd be really surprised if he even makes it back there before he ever gets the flippers. Where's he going now? Oh, he's going up the mountain. Oh yeah, they have the mountain and a hookshot. Why are we thinking Aga? That's like a billion other chests. And by a billion, I mean
just 2 or 3, yeah. Hopefully he finds some value up there. And it looks like AmazingAmpharos is probably going to go for the same plate as well, based on his choice.
It's definitely the reasonable play. You don't want to pull the trigger on Aga if your opponent doesn't, and then it ends up not being required.
Yeah, that's the thing, is you don't want to make the Aga play too early. Because, like this situation here, we could end up not having to do it. But then they're going to miss out on that sweet shield.
That's true, they could go get that shield. I think it's evolved too. It's a red shield in there now.
Oh, baby.
Slowly growing as the run goes on. Man, not giving much.
A little more help is definitely worth it.
I need to stop reading chat. It's making me laugh.
Chat, stop it. You're distracting my
I'm trying to
co-commentator.
Trying to work here. 300 bucks on top of the mountain. That's a bad place to drop your wallet.
But yeah, this has been interesting. We have yet to see a route divergence.
No, they really have been kind of pulled the directions that they've been going. I would say maybe the only questionable thing was to go do escape before mini Moldorm, but I mean, again, you would hate to lose because you never went and did it.
Mm-hmm. Well, you gotta treat escape like another dungeon at this point.
Yeah.
Though it doesn't really have as many requirements because it doesn't. Because it treats. I don't know.
The front of it has no requirements, if I recall.
Yeah, because you can clear it with bombs, and bombs aren't part of the logic, so.
Well, there's your flippers.
So that sequence break was for nothing. So this is an Agassiz, unless Spiral Cave has some value. Because, I mean, what do they have left? They have that. Is that enough? No, that isn't enough. They have that, and they have Agahnim. That's it, right?
Yes.
And I doubt these players are going to go all the way out to Agahnim at this point. It's a bit of a hike.
Yeah, that's a long ways to go when this is very seemingly going to be Aga 1 required. I think something a little bit more problematic for Problems is he did get those flippers, he didn't check Hobo. He might be thinking that his progression is there.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Yeah, we saw the Cane of Ryan on top of the floating, in quotations, island.
It's not a bad place for it.
I highly doubt either of them will get it, but...
Maybe. I mean, you're going to have the mirror, and if you're in the Dark World, you can go ahead and grab that, then just head on over to Spike Cave. Under the assumption they do find the hammer and the seed. I would grab it, but that's because I'm bad.
It's not a bad idea.
Ooh, Problems is going to go check Hobo.
That's not a bad idea. He's going to be pleasantly... I don't know, it's going to be like a weird mix of disappointment and excitement.
Yes,
like,
no, Aga, but yes!
Hey,
This is almost going to sync them up almost entirely. I think AA will just be a couple transitions ahead because of just how he routed in Hobo. Even though Problems technically did the faster way to do Hobo, but it didn't. He had to do an extra save and quit to get there.
Of course, A hasn't checked the... Yeah. So. It's the lead, it keeps going back and forth, back and forth. It's probably going to be like this most of the race until someone makes some sort of crazy gamble that holds something. Oh, wow. Problems
going to Agahnim.
That's... Oh, man. I don't know about that choice. Obviously, you know, if it pays off, he's a brilliant person. If it doesn't pay off, then he's unlucky.
I mean, you know, at least...
I'm
you covered all your ends.
Mm-hmm. Personally, I'm not against checking every single thing you can before going to Aga, because doing useless Aga Tower... Because like this situation right here, what if he finds something important that gets him into the Dark World?
Yeah.
And AA is about to spend a lot of time going through Aga Tower without boots. And he's going to be way behind, but... If it's not here, then Problems is only going to be behind a little bit, so... It's a good play.
Still a location checked, and I mean, AA will probably eventually go back and check it. It might just be a pinch more efficient, but the time loss here isn't necessarily that extreme.
Yeah. Well, and there's your hula hand money. So yeah, this is definitely an Aga Tower seed. We have nothing else that we can do at this point, so... Hopefully, at that point, we'll finally get to see some divergence. I wonder if either of our players are going to pop into pod, maybe?
Yeah, that'll be...
Yeah, or if they're going to hookshot across or not.
And we know pod's a pendant, too, so...
Yeah. There's also the possibility of checking Catfish right away, just so that's done. You don't have to worry about that ever again.
I guess it is right there. I guess Pyramid to Catfish, and you could take the Whirlpool on your way down and swim over to Pod. Kind of efficient? I don't know, probably even more efficient save and quit. But both the players should be making really quick work of Aga 1 here. Buttersword really taking care of business right now.
Everything's pretty much one hit.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah. I remember back in the days before progressive items when sometimes you just get a Buttersword did the first 5 minutes, and this is how you played the rest of the game. Which was interesting, except for the other player who never found it and was like Master Sword only somehow. It's like, it's not fair.
No, I miss it.
I don't, for the most part, because I enjoy the challenge of getting seeds where it's like your first sword is in an hour. I keep seeing people get these seeds, and I'm like, I want this. I want to experience I want to experience this. But that's just me.
I was bad at the game, so if I didn't get Buttersword in the first 5 chests, I just loaded up a new seed. But AA is just a screen away from his Aga 1 fight. If anybody would like to guess, how many blue balls do you think we'll see in this silly fight?
We had 0 yesterday during one of the races. 0. It was crazy.
Like there were so many of them, it just went back to 0, or like they actually had 0.
Like Aga just spawned and then immediately died instantly.
Man,
it was crazy.
Awesome.
Well, we got one blue ball.
And because the rando community is nicer than the NMG players, both these individuals will have the same RNG on these boss fights. So, you wouldn't have 0 blue balls from AA side, and Problems is literally will be having to do the fight for 30 minutes because he never shoots out a regular one. That won't happen. It'll be the same for both.
It's like Ganon warps. It's like, I got 0 Ganon warps. What did you get? 20? Oh, alright. Ding, ding, ding. 3 blue balls so far. Any more? I think A's got one more hit, and then that'll be done. Yep, there we go. 3. 3 blue balls.
So where are you going after this? Are you going in the pod? Are you going hook shot? Are you going catfish?
It sounds like I need to count my blue balls. But I'm going to stick with 3. Chat's saying 4, but I might have looked away and missed one, but I'm never wrong, so I'm going to go with 3. Sorry, guys.
I'll agree with you and say 3 too. What's chat going to do about it?
I know, right? Can't do that. Oh, man. All right. This was what I was talking about in the last one. Pendant Thieves Town. For some reason, I always like Thieves Town being kind of my safety dungeon when it's a crystal. But when it's a pendant, I'm like, why? Why do you betray me so?
Yeah, it just seems like it's a waste of time to go in there, especially because you know that not really much is blocking it as far as the progression goes, and this game does like to give you breadcrumbs, but again, it's a very popular play, so you'd hate to be the one that didn't go in there.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're seeing a pod play from AA. Let's see what Problems does. Also, Skull Woods is our second double-chested fairy crystal. So as soon as they find that fire rod, they'll be able to go complete the double-chested fairy. And, well, it won't be that convenient, though, without... They'll still need... Can you save and quit with it?
No, you cannot save and quit with it.
Okay, well then they still will need
they would still need a mirror or a hammer.
Or a hammer, yeah. Alright guys, we got divergence. Our players are taking 2 separate routes. Let's see which one pays off. The Green Pendant Pod play by AA, or the Overworld by Problems. If I'm Problems, at this point I would definitely pop into Skull Woods on my way to Thieves Town. Or on my way to Village of Outcasts. Too many times have we seen Skull Woods have something important.
You just feel like there's some unusual amount of value in that dungeon for some reason?
It's just, yeah.
Thought we weren't spoiling the secret, you know? Take whatever advantage you can get.
I mean, I'll 1v1 anyone in chat. Let's go. Money match me. Let's go right now.
Money match. How many rupees you got?
How many do you got?
No, I've noticed that too. I think it's almost developed itself to be kind of the new meta route, is to go into Skull Woods as soon as you can. It doesn't take very long to clear, and it's really been paying dividends as of lately.
I mean, it's just like the beginning of Eastern Palace. It's just Overworld plus a Moon Pearl. That's pretty much it.
Big key on Problem side, and just millions and millions of small keys on AA side, per usual pod.
Skull Woods not looking too hot right now.
Quote Dr. Bombastic on his opinion of pod. He said it's like a mullet. You heard this one?
Business in the front, party in the back.
Yeah.
That's what they call a mullet.
Oh, that's what they call pod. I thought the mullet definition came later.
Okay. I'll have you know, I was a victim of a mullet when I was a child because my dad had a mullet growing up, and so he was like, "I want my children to have mullets too." So just imagine me with a mullet. It's great.
Chad, I demand you make Willard grow another mullet. He sets up his death warp, where his problems finds the quack medallion.
Quack. Well, that's good because we know Meyer and T-Rock are both required, so we need to find as many of these medallions right up the beginning as possible. And with Canis Maria already in hand as well, you know, we might be seeing an early T-Rock. We still are missing a couple rods and a hammer and a mitts, so I might be getting a little ahead of myself. Just a little bit.
Maybe an early Meyer.
But yeah, at this point, Pod has not paid off at all yet, but that's normal because the beginning of Pod is usually nothing.
Yeah, we're on the mullet side now, or the good part of the mullet. As we get another small key. Willard, they're distracting me again. Make them stop.
Oh, that's a huge find.
I told you Pod was the right play. That's huge.
Yeah, that is really big. Finding Mirror in Pod. The thing is, though... Well, no. There's no thing. But there is one thing. With Mirror in Pod, that Mirror opens up so many more extra locations when checking stuff. Oh, never mind. Okay, Pod was the play, guys. That is huge.
Mirror and
Mirror. So... He can do all of Dark World now. He can go into Ice Palace, can't do anything there. Time mitts are pretty big, especially for routing Village of Outcasts efficiently. Especially, oh man, dwarves are screaming. The blacksmiths, they gotta have something, right?
Another hammer?
Another hammer? That'd be nice. Oh my god, Pod! Stop!
Was that the ice rod?
That was the ice rod. Calm down.
So I guess every item you just do Aga, get to the Dark World, beat Pod, and you're in go mode. No, that was a fantastic play. The only thing that could really hurt him in the end is if I wasn't counting items, but we also know that the green pendant's going to be from Helmsor. Mm-hmm. You're very less inclined to go back there and clear it out, and then, you know, if Problems happens to find the hammer somewhere hiding in Thieves, and then he goes and clears out Pod, and then that green pendant ends up being required, that could give him that kind of weird sneak advantage because you went somewhere, but you're not inclined to go back because you didn't finish it.
Yeah, and also at this point, AA is going to have a bunch of extra locations to check along his route through Dark World, which is going to add up a lot of extra time. Now, if those lead to the next items that he needs to progress, then that's great. But if not, then that's just extra time that he's spending.
Still really efficient, though. I mean, I have a saying, whoever finds the mirror first usually wins the race, but don't quote me on that one.
I won't. Well, hey, at least...
It's not always
now we can start speculating where that hammer is going to be. I want to see it in the first chest in Swamp.
I want to see it in Meyer.
Because that would be absolutely evil.
Hammer and boots in Meyer? Let's go.
Ooh. Why you gotta put them both in there? One of them's gonna be on Vitreous.
Digging game here.
2,
1 to 30 digs.
4, 5 digs, 6 digs, 7, 8, 9 digs, 10, 11 digs, 12, 13 digs, 14.
He also
15,
has 18 seconds
16,
left.
17, 18, 19. 19 digs.
You count better than I do in the morning.
Well, it is almost 1 p.m., so... Morning is kind of over. It's still morning to me, but yeah.
I'm Eastern time zone, but I'm on vampire schedule, so it's morning.
That sounds about right.
I'm still finishing my coffee, so it's morning.
Same here.
I didn't know you like coffee.
Is that the second B that AA's
It's also the second medallion for problems, finding Bombos from Stumpy. Yeah, AA is having bad luck with those Bs.
Alright, well, there's one check that AA had to do that is costing him time getting around the Dark World. Just for that, he didn't even pick up the green rupee. Missed opportunity.
I don't know, 515, that's kind of the sweet number you like to be at when, you know, you've already done everything.
Alright, well, I wonder, if we find a hammer in Hype Cave, I wonder if AA is going to would pop into Swamp Palace at the time. Oh, look, the other one. Alright, we got two.
Ooh, I imagine he most definitely would if he found it there.
Not today.
That Bombos does unlock a few chests in Ice Palace. Not really that nice of a play to make, but Problems has been known for his early dips into Ice Palace.
Oh, that is true. That would be a horrible place to put a hammer, too.
Oh, yeah, I think I said that earlier.
Yeah. Let's hope it happens.
Maybe I got the Dark World spoiler log.
Oh.
I don't think Problems is going to be too far behind. I think he might be heading right over to Pod now.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
He did his full circuit and didn't really find anything that... I mean, he found a lot of good stuff, but nothing that immediately helps him.
And I wonder if after he does Pod and gets his mitts and mirror and all that stuff, if his next step will be to go up to Death Mountain. Because that opens up everything except for Spike Cave and T-Rock without the hammer. But now we know that, you know, there's nothing else. The hammer could be up there.
Yeah. I do think, unfortunately, though, he's going to be kind of kicking himself for finding that mirror, because he's been like, man, I wish I would have had this on my first trip, because, you know, now he's got all these weird little off locations he kind of has to go back and check. Assuming he wants to do that, but I think Death Mountain, that's a great play to make. AA is doing his Skullwoods, he'll be finding his Quack shortly. And don't you love having the cane for this second room in Skullwoods?
Yes, gosh, it's so convenient. Just pop that down and then you can leave. And then it disappears when you go back in there.
He doesn't even have to do that. He's also got a mirror. He's super stacked.
Oh yeah, he does.
Like, cane, mirror? You want me to go to that one room in Skullwoods, don't you, Logic? That's what it tells me. Yeah, I can't even really say who's in the lead right now. I mean, AA does have a little bit... He's got the nicer items, but he did have to take a little bit more time to check stuff, which none of it's paid off yet, but... I mean,
AA will definitely... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was just saying, they're both doing the same thing, and no one's really found that one progressive item that, you know, really tears you away from your opponent.
Mm-hmm. Now, AA will take a tremendous lead if his mirror finds him something like a flute or a fire rod, you know, anything that's going to allow him to start knocking out dungeons. A hammer, you know, anything like that, then it'll be clear as day who's in the lead.
Problems did skip out of Thieves Town early. He only checked the first 4, and I think he only got 2 items out of there too, so it'll be interesting if AA, if he does decide to go in there, if he wants to go a little bit further, but he might skip it outright and just head over to Hype Cave.
Yeah, I mean, he already got all of his fancy progressive items from one pendant dungeon. There's no way there'd be more progressive items in another dungeon.
Yeah, this logic doesn't do that at all.
You gotta try and outsmart the logic. You're like, no, I already played your game. Now you're gonna play my game.
Try to disrespect the logic, you're gonna get punished.
Yeah. They're gonna put something deep into T-Rock, and that's gonna lead to the Ice Rod. Except they already had the Ice Rod, and that's gonna. Where was the Ice Rod again? Oh, that was in Pod. He's getting that. He'll be getting that.
There could be 2 Ice Rods. We don't know.
This could be a plando. We don't know.
How many digs is it gonna take?
19?
I actually forgot. Like, I wasn't even asking you
No.
to get the number out there.
In case you guys wanted to know, it's 19.
AA's a prophet, or excuse me, Willard's a prophet. He knows exactly how many digs every match.
My favorite, I think it was in the race yesterday, there was a shovel that was dug up there. It was great.
Thanks for finding my other shovel. Guess you can keep it.
You're like, no, I want both. And then you shovel dash away. They'll never catch you.
Yeah, I hear you can soft lock doing that. Can you confirm or deny that?
No comment.
Okay, so this is something AA gets to do that Problems wasn't able to do on his original. He's gonna go ahead and take care of the escort missions here.
Ah, the worst kind of missions. Underwater escort missions. Except this isn't underwater. But yeah, here's a big play that if this ends up getting him anything, then that's going to give him a huge advantage. Oh man, heart piece, that's a huge advantage.
He is slightly healthier than Problem because of that mirror.
Yeah, and he'll definitely use this opportunity to walk the chest all the way down. And yeah, I mean, you don't have boots, you might as well.
Yep. Be just as fast. And yeah, locations to check down here too. Get his bombos from Stumpy, and he can check out the mirror, or the mirror ledge location. We have no idea where that item, what item that is. It's real nice for him to go there first too, so we don't have to wait in suspense that long.
Not
$50.
Man, these extra locations have not been paying off. Now, this might not apply to this race in particular, but this is just a case of where sometimes missing items during a route saves you time if you end up finding the other items that you need elsewhere. Because, sometimes you'll... with Mitts and Mirror, that adds a lot of extra locations to check. And unless they pay off, then that's every second counts. Now, of course, in this situation, if Problems ends up going back and rechecking all those locations, then he's going to lose extra time.
Yeah, for just the routing inefficiency, because he, didn't do it on his initial way through, because, I mean, he's already walked through all of this to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
He opted not to go back and check those silly locations he missed, to just go ahead and head up to the high-value Death Mountain right now.
Yeah, because he knows if he goes back and there's something there, he's gonna be behind, so he needs to go elsewhere to find what he needs, so he doesn't feel bad.
Yeah, it's not about finding the items you need; it's finding them in the order that makes you not feel as bad about finding them.
Uh-huh. You want to feel good about your performance.
No, I like it a lot.
It's like, I don't want to find out this item that I could have had if I had done pot early, then I'm just going to be tilted the rest of the race. So I'm going to go somewhere else. I'll come back.
We've neglected that hammer being in the best possible spot ever.
What was that?
First chest and Swamp Palette. That's the best possible place to have hammer.
Now, I do believe I mentioned that earlier.
I do believe I didn't hear you say that, so...
But yeah, it would be interesting to see a Swamp Palace check from either player. Hey, a boomerang. Definitely worth it. That's unfortunate, though. It's a bit of a walk.
Problems never checked the loading island, huh? Or maybe he just forgot. I thought he looked at it.
Bombos. All right. Well, once they find a hammer, they will be able to go inside T-Rock. Though without a fire rod, you never know how much you can accomplish in that dungeon. Let's see what Hookshot Cave has to hold.
If you find a hammer here, are you going right into Turtle Rock?
I might.
It's a fun play to make. I mean, you're already here.
Yeah. Not today, though.
You got AA right behind him. Man.
Oh yeah, here's the nice thing. With the mirror in hand, you can skip on over into Tower of Hera. And that is a crystal dungeon, so both our players will be able to complete it. Because they have a fire source as well in case something is in the Hera basement.
When was the last time you've seen in version 26 killing the first version of Moldorm with a butter sword?
Oh my gosh, that's been a while.
Feel like if you get a fighter sword. For the most part, though, this has been a pretty nice bootless, hammerless seed.
Yeah, it's been pretty good. A little slow, but you know, as long as they're both walking slowly, it's fine.
Well, it's because they don't have the boots. The boots make you go faster in this game. Did you know that?
That's what I've heard. Please,
I've just never found them in this logic. But I've heard stories and legends.
Alright, so we haven't seen anything in this dungeon yet.
Oh, just 2 keys, 20 bucks. There's one item.
Double reds!
The other.
Woof. Alright. Well, that's good. That means there's no Hera basement required for this one. And they'll be able to pick up a crystal right here, right now. But what's next? What is the next option? Where do you go from here? What options do we have right now?
That's a fantastic question. I mean, they have... What do we haven't seen? We haven't seen them finish up Thieves Town.
I'm thinking Thieves Town's got to have something at this point. Of course...
First chest in Swamp, first couple chests in Ice Palace. Ugh.
We might see the Ice Palace play. I would love to see the Ice Palace play.
Yeah, this has gotten pretty awful really quick here. You're like, I got everything I need to go explore the world, and I'll just make my next move. And then it's like, here's 3 decisions you don't want to do. Which one is it going to be?
I mean, we got the flippers, but we haven't quite used them to progress yet. So maybe the intent was to use them to get to Ice Palace to find the next thing? I don't know. I don't know what you're trying to tell me, Logic. Well, either way, we'll see something exciting coming up. It's either going to be a pendant dip or going into dungeons you can't complete.
It's always your favorite situation to be in, especially in a tournament race. You know, when you know your opponent's really good.
Mm-hmm. I mean, both these guys know that they got to make some crazy plays if they want to. Just in general, everybody knows in the tournament they're like, I need to make a crazy play if I want to win this race.
Yeah, and with this logic and just how things work, and just the fact that the overall skill level of everyone has increased so much from, I think, this tournament to the last tournament.
Oh yeah, a lot of really good people have come out of the woodworks that I've never, had never seen before. So it's like competition is fierce. And especially with this current logic, it's not... I mean, execution does play a huge part, of course. But there's just so much extra factors that go into a randomizer race.
So, 2 slashes here. Takes care of them. If you blink, you missed it. Unfortunately, I missed it. But that's a dead Moldorm.
No, it looks like Problems is going to be checking those mirror locations. This is good for AA.
Yeah, and this is definitely not unreasonable, because right now he knows that he just doesn't have any option that just looks good. Everything is just like,
It's like, Ice Palace without hammer, Swamp Palace without hammer, Pendant Thieves Town.
Thieves Town, and I'm friggin' Pendant anyways. You'd like to not check every spot in the game before you find the items you need, but man, Randomizer can get you sometimes. And again, he doesn't take the single green rupee. 1384 is enough money. If you can't beat Ganon, he could be a banker in Hyrule. He's freaking stacked right now.
I might need to see another Houlihan.
A Dark World Houlihan?
The Dark World Houlihan.
That needs to exist.
Oh yeah, that's true. Problems has not done catfish yet. That's
And
gotta
AA
be. That's gotta be yelling at him in the back of his head.
I think this might be a little fortunate for AA. It was kind of the other situation I was describing earlier. He hasn't gone into Thieves Town yet. I'd be surprised if he only checks the first 4 in here, because we know he's not going to get anything. And at this point, you're like, well, where else am I going to go? He actually might see this dungeon through.
Mm-hmm.
Which, you know, if there's something there, it could be beneficial. But if there's nothing, it could be just a huge waste of time. Because again, it's that, you know, that first chest in Swamp Palace that has that hammer.
I don't know why, but I always feel like that one chest next to the floor that you bomb in Thieves Town always seems to have something good.
You're not wrong. I get that feeling a lot, too.
Yeah, this is really good for AA, with Problems looking like he's going to be doing all the things he missed by not having Mitts and Mirror. He's going to be taking his purple chest down to go get that blue boomerang. And then he's going to be like, what? What do you want me to do? Where do I go? Please, tell me.
It'll be interesting, and if he wants to make that play on the first chest in the swamp, he'll have a right time to do it. I mean, he'll be right there. Again, it's a very low percentage play, and it's very time consuming because you got to watch 3 cutscenes. I'm including the mirror animation. I actually miscounted the first time, but I was trying to find a way to sell it back to me not being dumb.
It's okay. It's all right. You could say dumb things on here. This is a safe space to make a few dumbs. It's fine. Nobody's gonna correct you. Nobody does that.
As long as I close chat, no one can bother me.
As long as I block everyone on Twitter, I'm immune. I'm immune to criticism.
Close chat, block Twitter, mute Willard.
Yo guys, by the way, follow me on Twitter. I'm like 6 away from 500. I'm sorry. So anyway, Thieves Town. Let's
let's see here.
Let's see what we got going on in here.
Hey, gets his boomerang. Probably not what he was looking for. But we slowly approach, quote-unquote, Willard's high-profile chest. Really sounds strange outside of context, but I'm rolling
All
with
Problems is he's doing it. He's going for the Ice Palace play.
Whoa.
This could be big. This could be as big as AA hopping into pod early. Oh, and there's that chest I was talking about. Just a heart container. Hey, we're on 2 rows, though. That's pretty good.
So that's 3 items in Thieves Town, I believe. The next chest he opens has to be a small key, so the only item he's going to get would have to be from Blind.
Ooh, that's a bit of a commitment. That's a bit of a commitment. But then again, we see on Problem side, we have a pretty big commitment right now.
Yeah.
Especially with Bombos. That's a lot of extra seconds added up each time. Thankfully, you don't have to do it that many. You only have to do it like 3 times. 1 for each of the freezer rooms, and then once again for Cold Stare. But we won't be seeing the Cold Stare one because we don't have a hammer. Actually, speaking of which, how many chests can we even check in this dungeon without the hammer?
You can check this one down here, the first one you can hookshot in, the Freezord room, and then if you get a big key, you can check the big chest and then the jellyfish room. So I wasn't actually tracking in my brain how many I was saying, but that many.
Okay. You just hold up your hand and you said this many.
Yeah.
And we'll just go along with that. But hey, we did see an early big key, so
I'd be happy to see that. I think if I was in this dungeon.
Too. I mean, a small key gets you the 1 chest on the right side, but a big key that could get you a different chest.
He doesn't need that small key to get to that chest, but if he goes and checks it without the small key, he has to mirror back to the beginning. Because he will be key locked out.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's see what Blind's gonna have. This could be worst case scenario, something is in the big chest. Or this could be it. Oh!
So that'll leave an
That's
item in the big chest.
But hey, here's one way to look at it. That's one. He's now 2 pendants away from checking pedestal, getting the pedestal item.
I'm actually really surprised by that. I actually thought there was most definitely something in Thieves Town. This race has gotten really interesting really fast.
Well, we as I said, we got all the good items out of Pod, so there can't be anything else in the other pendant dungeons at this point, right? The logic wouldn't do that, right? But they would make you think that there's going to be items in the other pendant dungeons.
That flute's in that big chest, no big deal.
No big deal.
And that fire rod's gonna be from the green pendant.
Oh, there it is!
There it is!
Oh, man! Probs taking the lead with the hammer in Ice Palace. That is insane.
Oh my god. Alright, well that's convenient. So now this dungeon turned into like a huge gamble to being like, well, I guess since I'm here, I'll just finish it up.
Yeah, and since he didn't do the bomb jump, he will have to, you know, grab some, but he already has the big key, so he just needs... Actually, I think he just needs that small key and he can go downstairs.
Yeah, he's all good. He grabbed the small key. He should be fine.
But it looks like he wants to go ahead and check the rest of the items in here, which is not a bad play. Because that hammer just unlocked a couple more chests in this very dungeon. Like half magic. Wow. This is looking good. And AA is making the swamp play. Well, we already know it's not going to be here, but hey, this could be something else.
Yeah, but nothing, I mean... If he found a flute here or something, that would probably be the worst thing he could find, because that's just gonna distract him from finding his hammer.
Mm-hmm.
But... Since we already know where the hammer is, and you need the hammer to move forward in this dungeon, unfortunately, whatever he finds here is not going to be good for him. But that's alright, because I'm sure he'll be in Ice Palace shortly after this.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's making his way over. He has literally nothing else to check. And that's never a good feeling when you're in a race and you're looking for progression in the very last possible place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a good feeling at all. Because then you're always wondering, did my opponent make this play earlier, or is he in the same boat as me?
Especially finding it in Ice Palace, too, and knowing that you're against Problems, my stomach would just be churning, because I'm like, man, he probably went here right after Aga.
Well, thankfully, the fact that Problems didn't go immediately into Pod when he came out of Aga Tower, it doesn't really put AA that far, but it doesn't put him too far behind.
No, I mean, literally, we're just,
we're still in the same dungeon.
Yeah, so. The completion of this dungeon, I mean, it's really no difference. Problems AA had a little bit of a lead because he was just able to route a little bit more efficiently in the overworld, and then he gave up some of that just by kind of guessing wrong a little bit on those spots. But I mean, again, that time could be made up for AA if Problems feels like he needs to go back to Thieves Town or something like that. Then this race
that's true, yeah.
Tied.
Though that big chest in Thieves Town could still have something.
Yeah. Oh, the swings. the having to unfortunately double dip back and forth and who decided to clear and not clear. Oh,
and there's also, Helmasar King and Green Pendant to consider as well in this scenario. But with Hammer in hand, I would probably... I don't know, would you make the T-Rock play yet, or no? Because that's available.
Hammer, man, yeah, I think the hammer was nice, but what else did that give us?
I don't know, now I'm starting to hate the hammer. It's like, no,
wait a minute!
You've given me more problems.
I just kind of wanted this seed to be unbeatable and get a new one. I'm tired of it.
Combo strat, and then Buttersword just makes this fight so free. Well, I was about to eat my words, but he got him. It's got a pretty far reach.
There's the last item, so nothing. Just because of how the logic is really weird with Spike Cave, and how it likes to always want to give you a half magic and all that good stuff, and we know that the Cane of Brine is now accessible. You have Spike Cave play, but then that also kind of pushes you a little bit towards Laser Bridge too, so maybe Dark Death Mountain is the correct play.
Yeah, that cane is looking pretty good right now.
I thought you said they wouldn't grab it.
They probably won't, but it's still looking good. Oh, nice. I have not seen that hookshot play to get into that stairwell before.
Really? Oh man, it's nice. Especially when you don't have the boots.
Yeah, I'm stealing that.
It's a little fickle, but yeah, you kind of just have to shoot just a little bit to the left of the staircase railing, and it'll kind of grab you on and clip you in, and you can just go down the stairs. Well, I suppose Swamp Palace is even a better play to do that. I didn't forget about this dungeon completely, so this makes a little bit of sense. We'll be surprised whether or not if he's going to skip the left side or not. From what I hear, that's kind of a developing thing in the randomizer, if you're going to go left side and swamp or not. Because it takes a lot of time, and if it's for 2 dungeon items, you feel kind of silly. Of course, then again, if the game-changing item's there and your opponent doesn't go there, then you've won the race, because no one ever likes going back in the swamp.
Oh wow, Problem's going for the swamp play instead of Dark Death Mountain? Or instead of T-Rock?
That made a lot more sense, actually.
Yeah. No, it's a good idea. Everyone wants to be able to go mode swamp, but we're still missing what? Fire Rod, Flute, and then potentially whatever medallion we need for Meyer at this point. So, might as well. Yeah, and going to T-Rock without a Fire Rod is like about the same as going into Ice Palace without the hammer. You might not get very far.
Yeah, while you were gone, I told them how dumb you were for not saying that they would go into Swamp Palace. Instead, we're over here talking about Dark Death Mountain. It's the play to make. I didn't actually say that. You can watch the VOD.
It's fine. It's alright. I'm over it already.
I double bluffed. I know he's not going to watch the VOD. That's why I said it.
The double bluff. No way. Hey, when are we going to find those boots? Or is this a bootless seed?
Boots? Excuse me?
Boots? In V26? No way.
I mean, we got Pendant Desert right now. We're going to find those boots if anyone wants to check the Ganon's Tower Big Chest. So we've already found one item in Swamp, being $20. Second one being the net. AA has cleared out all of his chest. I believe he's just heading down to Cold Stare. And then I imagine he'll be heading back into Swamp. We'll have a slight advantage going into that dungeon itself because he's already, bombed the first chest. Won't have to worry about that. Problems ops to not walk in the shallow water on the left side of Swamp for whatever's over there.
Oh, that was true. I forgot about using the cane there. If you're going to full clear Ice Palace, you don't really need to do the bomb jump anyway. Because you could just use the cane to press the switch.
Yeah.
Smart play.
Yeah, I liked it.
Oh, there it is!
Fire Rod.
Wow, okay. Well, I would have been looking pretty silly going into T-Rock if this was me playing.
Wouldn't we both? Oh, I guess you can go into T-Rock now, though.
Yeah. Now the question is, will we see a left side Swamp Palace, though? Or are we going to skip out on that?
He did skip it, so we'll have to see what AA decides to do. Or if you think he's going to go back in, I don't think he's going to go back in.
Yeah, I mean, he got the next progressive item, but you never know. Sometimes they'll hide a medallion over on the left side. One of the worst feelings is having to crawl all the way back into Swamp Palace, all the way to the left side, just to get that required item that you decide to skip.
Yeah, at that point, that's when you just switch to playing Cuphead and wait for your opponent to dot down an IRC, right?
Yeah. Alright.
Pretty
Now,
nice.
I'm not a counting man, so I don't know how many items we got in the swamp, but...
I counted past the first 2, and that's about the extent of my brain power. So I know he got 2.
Did you say brain power?
Yes.
Can we play brain power? Mods?
You're the boss, man. I just do what I'm told.
Can I play brain power? No. It's not relevant at all. Alright, AA going with the swamp play as well. I wonder, because sometimes players like to... With hookshot in hand, you know, you can kind of clear the left side a little bit quicker than you normally can because you can use that small key that you normally can't get until you get the hookshot. We'll see what he does.
I've seen even some of the mediocre time-saving gambles is to go grab the key, drain the water, and then go kill Argus, and then you just go back, and you're like, if I want to go back, at least I already took care of the dumb things. I really don't know how I feel about either of them. I just prefer no good items to be over there. That's kind of my thing.
You just hope for the best. Cross your fingers and hope for the best. Now, I don't recall seeing it, so I'm assuming that the big key might be on the left side at this point?
Yes, actually. So that would limit it to only, at the most, 2 items being on the left side. Problems did make the move towards Turtle Rock.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. With that, unless you get, well, we can't get Mirror Shield at this point because of the shield in Lumberjack Cave. We can't... Unless we find, a cave in here. That laser bridge might be a bit of a problem.
Ooh, yeah, no boots and green mail. He has no, invincibility items. That's... I mean, you can always just take the safety door and die 44 times in there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there is a way you could do it whilst walking. You just have to have pretty good timing. But it's not ideal. I usually, in this scenario, would do the dying thing that you said. Yeah, that blue cane, they could get it right now, but it is kind of out of the way.
Turtle Rock's a great play here, too. Another thing they could have attempted to was to go ahead and do Skull Woods. There's no item there, but it does unlock 2 items from the Big Bomb, and then you could just be kind of hoping for the flute there. And then, you could have the dream scenario we all like, where, get the flute from Big Bomb, and then you can do Turtle Rock last and go mode it and be ready for Ganon's Tower.
That's true.
But, new logic.
New logic.
Can't do things like we used to want to do them anymore. It looks like AA is going to be checking those chests over on the left side.
Yeah, it was funny. He actually hookshotted across as if he was going to go straight to Argus, and then he was like, I'm gonna change my mind, and then he went back. So who knows? Maybe we'll find something over here that will put him back in the lead. If we find a flute over here, that would be huge. Yeah,
flute is, for the most part, unless we're going to be missing the Ether Medallion, the only thing our runners are dragging right now, else a big key on the GT Torch, which, please. Let this happen for all of us, with Boots being in the pedestal. Which would take a lot of luck. That would take a... that would take a key being on the Ganon's Tower torch and a key not being on Desert Palace's torch.
Well, Problems had to use his blue potion because he was down to 1 heart, but having sword beams made that room a lot easier.
That room was so obnoxious.
Map, and this should be the big key. So big chest could... Big chest will have an item. Will it be something good?
Or just go ahead and put the flute in the Thieves Town big chest, or from Pod Helmosaur. That's all we're asking for.
Or from Stahatula. We have a lot of terrible options.
Doesn't have to be necessarily the worst, but we just want terrible.
Moment of truth. What's it gonna be? Oh wow! You know, it doesn't progress you at all, but it'll be helpful later.
Yeah, it'll be helpful for that laser bridge.
Yeah. That's a good item. I don't hate it. It'll also be helpful for checking Spike Cave if that ends up being an option that these players make after T-Rock or before T-Rock or whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I would have gotten Blue Cane before going through all of left side to get the cape. Or I would have rather have just done neither.
Yeah. Cane was a little bit of a walk, but not quite as long as a walk as left side swamp, but
hindsight and all that stuff.
Yeah. We didn't know what was in that big chest, but we did know where that blue cane was.
Alright, let's see what Mimic Cave has. It's been a long time since Mimic Cave has been useful.
You just wait till your race. It's gonna catch you by surprise.
Except I did T-Rock without mirrors, so of course I'm gonna have to like backtrack back up.
Yes. We wouldn't have it any other way. Man, I actually wouldn't wish that on anybody. That's the worst right there.
Sometimes I wish overworld glitches were allowed to a certain degree, because clipping right into the Mimic Cave area from the Dark World is just—it's so easy with the boots. It's just right there. It's so nice. Don't get any ideas.
I'm not a cheater, so I don't know how to do any of that stuff.
That's good.
I'm only joking.
We don't talk about that.
Alright, A's on his Argus fight. Not too difficult with Butter Sword and all that good stuff. Argus is really difficult without the hook shot, though. Admittingly.
Yeah, he's pretty impossible, if I recall correctly. So I'm gonna agree with you on that. Alright. Now imagine they go through all of T-Rock and not find anything. I would be okay with that. That would be funny.
Yeah, well, yeah. But again, you know, T-Rock's kind of like a mullet. I'm just gonna say that about every dungeon. How about that?
Can you just give me like a display or something that just has a bunch of different hairstyles and match them to all the different dungeons? Or are they just all, or most of them just all mullets at this point?
Yeah, but unfortunately when I do that, the display I have for Pod is going to be you growing up as a child.
No,
please. Find that picture for me.
It's hanging up on my wall.
What high school did you go to, Willard?
That's a little personal. I'm not going
find
to
some of those yearbooks.
Oh, that's fine, because someone said he has a fairy, so it's okay.
Okay. Yeah, he did. There was a fairy in a bottle pickup. Alright, well, you know what? Just kidding.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Right there at the door, too.
Where was the fairy, then?
Did he...
He didn't use it. Huh.
Alright, well.
You know, that's happened to me before, because you're like, I can outrun that red beetle dude. No problem. Big problem.
It's kind of that weird late stage of the game, too, when you feel like you're stronger than you should be, but, I mean, he didn't have that many hearts to begin with, and you're still on green hell, so things hit like a truck. Especially when they're red-colored.
You're like, I'm an hour and 18 minutes in, I should not be dying at this point.
Yeah, be able to face tank everything.
Whew.
Yeah, that was really close.
Yeah. It doesn't take much to get knocked off the bridge and then get lasered a couple times whilst falling to get another death. That was the worst, though, because he died whilst trying to set up the safety door.
He's right there.
That's so unfortunate. Alright, guys, how many times is he going to die in the laser bridge? 1.
Willard.
Oh, man, this is really good for AA.
Disclaimer, I respect and love our runners. I will not be participating in this game. I think he's going to do everything in the first try because they're all amazing. Willard, I think he's gonna die. Like
There we go. All right, that's another medallion down, so we don't have to worry about what Meyer has. Oh,
right.
okay. So if you had done well, no, they don't have the boots yet.
So just go do both the Pendant Dungeons, get your boots from the pedestal, and come back to Laser Bridge.
I gotta say though, what he's doing right now is
It's impressive.
really tricky. It's really hard to pull off. So this is really amazing. So I'm actually impressed. 1 death is not that bad. 2 deaths is this was intentional. So
This is actually a heart refill here.
yeah.
Oh. Again, my bad habit of not counting items. No idea if Trinex has an item or not, but you know what? I kind of like the surprise.
He does, because we have both the dungeon items, which I just saw because Problems paused.
Well, it's not a surprise anymore. Thank you, Willard.
You're welcome. I'm here to help. But yeah, red shield, red boomerang, ether. Ether was pretty much the only useful thing they got from that bridge, until they get to Meyer and realize that they don't need it.
Just double bombos.
Double bombos, that'd be sweet.
Yeah, but at least you feel good about it, you know? Again.
Yeah, it's relieving, because now you don't have to worry about... Because the worst thing is having a medallion be your go mode item.
A medallion that's in the Thieves Town big chest.
Yeah, or the Helmisar Pendant Sahasrahla Thieves Town big chest.
Wow, I didn't think he was going to get that menu switch there. That was really close.
Yeah, that was very close.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to switch rods if you kill a head, kill one of the heads, because you can't open your menu because it freezes your menu for some reason.
Yeah, whenever there's explosions going on screen from bosses, you can't pause your menu. Oh! Whoa! Oh my god! T-Rock, pretty good place.
So that made perfect sense. What you were supposed to do was kill Trinex, go get your a mirror shield from Lumberjack, and then you go back to get Ether from the Laser Bridge. That was the optimal way to route that.
Yeah, because you weren't supposed to check that middle chest where the vanilla big key normally is, and I think it had a dungeon map in it, so
yeah,
you're supposed to use that key to go beat Trinex.
Yeah, and then you go back. Yeah, it makes sense.
It totally makes sense. So honestly, at this point, I feel like no, it doesn't make sense at all because they could have had Kane or Cape at that point. Yeah, trying to understand, it's still a little difficult trying to understand how the logic works when it involves like Laser Bridge or Spike Cave or something like that. Because it's like, I have the Cane of Berna, I should go do Spike Cave because that's what the game is telling me. And then you get a heart piece, you're like, all right, maybe not.
Both of our runners did check Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. It was nothing of value.
At this point, here's the thing though. Unless Bonkrox has our next item, where do we go next?
Yeah, they've been getting all like the... Alright, Silver Arrows, those are nice.
I guess Fat Fairy would be the next play, probably.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, wait. Yeah, now they should go get your mirror shield, probs. Oh.
I don't think he's going to be grabbing that.
Oh.
It does look nice, though. Shiny.
It's hilarious on the Kirby sprite, because it's taller than Kirby.
Makes Kirby really well protected then, I suppose.
Yeah.
So the item I want to see from coming up next, I want to see the book.
Book would be great. Book would be... Yeah, because as soon as they find the flute, they're in go mode.
Yes.
There's nothing else to it.
100%.
But a book to get into silly old desert palace, or to go check the... Oh, a book would be terrible.
Yeah.
For our players, not for us.
Just to get nothing, because the flute is at Sash.
Because the flute's in Thieves Town Big Chest.
Ooh.
Ooh. That's rough. Yeah, we know that there's no items here, so this is just to get the crystal, to beat the game, blah, 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 important stuff. And then to check Fat Fairy. Ah, they should get the mushroom to do that cool glitch with the Batcave thing.
Man, that would be so awesome if like that actually pays out. I can't wait to see the race where that is like the most ridiculous sequence break ever. It takes a lot to go right, but
oh, he's got a fairy.
he's got a fairy. All right. Would he have been able to use a potion while you're falling? You can't, can you? No, I guess that was just like, I want to know if I'm actually dead or not before I die.
I've done that before where I'm like, I'm about to die. Can I? Nope, I'm falling. I can't heal while I'm falling. You could probably drink a potion while you're falling. Realistically, in the real world, I think you should. They should change that.
Just.
Hey Devs, can you change that? I think I want this game to be more immersive, and not being able to drink liquids whilst falling down a hole is breaking my immersion.
So, like real life, if something bad is about to happen with you, just pull out your little vial
just pause the game, you know?
Mountain Berry Gatorade and just chug it and you'll be fine. He wasn't able to switch to his fire rod because he didn't do it before the explosions.
Yeah.
Makes me wonder if he... I was just gonna say, I wonder if he knew that 3 hits would kill Trinex, because might have been a long time before he's seen a butter sword and remembering what it does. I'm pretty sure he does.
I'm sure he does. Might have just been a misclick. I'm mad that Trinex has the boots, because you need the boots in order to set up the zero cycle. The backdoor zero cycle. So, whatevs. Alright. Bat Fairy. Will she be the one that holds the progression that we need at this point? And the nice thing is with the mirror and the Hyrule Castle portal set up, checking these 2 chests are actually really convenient. That is something else I need to learn. Is I need to problems.
I mean, sometimes
you want to walk it out. You just want to go for a walk.
Take some time, you know, think his next move, and then give the bomb a little bit of a tour. Maybe it'll bring him some good luck.
You know, I feel like spending this much time with the bomb, though, is you're going to grow that connection, those feelings, and then you're not going to want to see it. You're not going to want to let him go. That's. But hey, let's look at AA for a second. That cape that he got is sending him over to Spike Cave. Let's see if this pays off. Moment of truth. This could all be for nothing.
I mean, if this is the flute here,
Woo!
this is a huge play.
Wow, AA with that clutch.
Yeah.
Nothing. Oh man. Alrighty.
Okay. So are we? Wait, have we really boiled this going back into?
It's Panda Dungeons. It's. Oh, it's horrible and incredible. Problem's gonna go check Catfish real quick, but yeah, it's the 50-50, guys. What play do you make? Do you kill Helmasaur and check? I don't know if Helmasaur has an item, but check Sahasrahla, or do you go for the Thieves Down big chest? I feel like that's what we're left with. It's a 50-50 at this point. Will they make the same play? Will they make 2 different plays? Which play is going to pay off? A's got a little time before he realizes that, because he's going to go check some of these boot locations. But this is insane.
Your hyper is got me all jittery there.
Remember that thing I said earlier about we were done with Pendant Dungeons? Well, just, clearly, sometimes I can be wrong, I guess.
You were wrong as soon as you think you had a handle on the logic. The logic always has the upper hand. You're not going to beat it. You just got to go along for the ride.
So what do you think it's going to be?
I mean, let me just go with the crowd favorite and say it's got to be on the pedestal. So go ahead and get your...
That would imply that we have a way to get into desert. So
well, I know you're gonna get the book from somewhere stupid.
Book from Thieves Town Big Chest to go do Desert Palace.
No, that's not even stupid enough. I'm thinking.
Oh, okay, hold on, hold the phone.
Yeah, give me a mushroom from the green pendant. Give me a powder from Thieves Town Big Chest. And then you can pick which one it is from there.
Have we seen? We haven't seen pegs yet.
Yeah. And by this, give me the book and the pegs. That's what I meant.
Aw. If this is something, then that's gonna be boring. It better be nothing.
I'm still okay with the book. I don't care where it shows up. Give me the book.
Mushroom, mushroom.
Mushroom is pretty convenient here too.
Ha ha! Good, good, good. Alrighty. Well, Problems is here, so he's probably gonna go into Thieves Town and check that big chest. Well, AA
might as well.
is. Yeah, he's got a bit to go left. So he's still gonna get that crystal and then check Fat Fairy before he makes this play. But if this ends up being nothing, or sends him like, if it's like a fetch quest that sends him to nowhere, and AA makes the right play into pot or something crazy, then who knows what could happen next?
What could make this a little bit more time consuming for Problems if he? Because I don't think he's gonna know that. Well, I'm just trying to remember the item. Because he's gonna open the big chest, so the flute could be there. He's out of this dungeon because he hasn't done the back yet. I think what will be interesting is if he decides to kill the boss. That will be what really evens this up.
That's a good point. That could be good for AA. I forgot that AA had finished all of Thieves Town, while Problems only did the beginning. I mean, fortunately, it did work out for him because Blind didn't have anything. So.
And then you're leaving behind, the one thing that could be your progression. It's kind of weird. That's like, hey, I went in this dungeon first. I win because, I went in there first. No, you didn't, because you might not be the one that goes back in there second.
I mean, everyone always tries to go into... Everyone prefers, obviously, to go into Thieves Town with the hammer in hand, but with that hammer placement in the seed, it's so hard to put off Thieves Town for that long.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely...
You don't expect your hammer in Ice Palace? Come on.
People would definitely go independent Thieves Town without hammer before going into Ice Palace, Crystal Ice Palace without hammer.
I mean, almost everybody does that, but yeah.
Yeah, if this ends up being something, we might actually just see him bail, mirror out. But he does know that... Oh, wait. Oh, no. Blind has a map. So he'll know right here whether he has to do it or not. Oh, gosh.
I mean...
Okay, at this point I would finish it because I'm thinking pedestal.
He only has, he's got literally, I think, 2 items left to check. It's... I gamble on those 2 spots, or I might have to backtrack anyways and kill the boss anyways.
Oh man, why did he switch to the mirror and almost save and quit?
He's really contemplating, and it's a really tough call.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But here's the thing. Unless Helmasar has an item, you might as well beat this dungeon and then, get that green pennant. Because, Sahasrahla doesn't have anything, then you have at least the pedestal to check. As opposed to leaving, beating Helmasar, getting the green pennant, getting nothing, and then having to go back into Thieves Town.
This is great for us too, because this race is almost all but evened up, because if you look where AA is going, he's heading right over to pod.
Woof.
And then, this is where Problems is going to be right after. I mean, this is
gonna be close.
Beyond close.
Yeah. But here's the thing, if pod ends up not having it, and it is in the pedestal, then... Oh wait, no, because A already did all of Blind.
Yeah.
Or Thieves Town. He just didn't do the chest.
Yeah, so he'll have that item there, but... the thing is, if this is going to be a pedestal seed, they're going to have to get the book. And if they're going to get the book, they kind of got to get it here, so... I think it would be really rare to see AA end up going back to that big chest at this point in the game now, because there's really nothing that's going to lead him there. He's going to get the flute outright, or he's going to get something that leads him to desert, which is going to be a little bit more desirable than Thieves Town big chest.
At this point, I'm shooting for pedestal. That's if you're gonna put us through all of this, you might as well give us a pedestal seed. Like,
I just want the book. Don't give me a flute outright.
Can we get a book to check the pedestal, and then the players can decide if they want to blind pull or not?
Would
Or
you
if
check
they
it
wanna
at
pull it
this
anyway?
point? No, I would not check it. There's no way.
I would check it. It's,
Really?
You know how much time it costs? I mean, I would get a lot of hate, but
It's not going to save you any time to check the pedestal at this point. If you get a book, because you got to go to desert anyways.
oh, would I check the? Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I thought you meant would I check the pedestal before?
Oh, I thought you meant
or
like,
would I blind?
go read it and be like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
No, that's what I thought you meant. I'm sorry.
it's okay.
I didn't mean to be mean to you, man.
It's alright. I forgive you.
All right, thanks, man.
We can still be friends. It's cool.
I've got to be nice to Willard. He's a administrator. He's the boss.
Aren't you in that secondary tournament, or are you in the main?
Wow. All right. Well, you know what? I'm not sorry about being mean anymore. I'm in both. I got different names. Don't tell anybody. No one's listening to me right now. As Willard pulls up the schedule. Wait, he didn't answer my question though. I'm not sure. To answer your question, I hope I get you next round.
Well, how can you get me if you're in the secondary tournament?
Exactly.
I'm sorry, I actually did forget.
It's okay. You know.
All right, Helmasar. He's gonna have an item. Is this the item that we need? It is!
Oh, baby, let's go!
Oh, boy! The mushroom! Okay. Thanks.
And by the way, I don't blame you.
It's not over. It's not over.
No, it's
we
not
still
at
don't know. We still don't know what we're doing.
I don't blame you for not knowing I was in the main tournament anyways, Willard, because I'm in the one section of the people that got wins their first round.
Can we stop talking about you and start talking about me? Because that's what I want to talk about. No. All right. Let's see. Sahasrara, are you going to have the key item? And is this mushroom just going to get tossed aside like it's nothing?
Oh, baby!
Wow. Okay, so forced double dip into Palace of Darkness. You had to get the mitts to go get the hammer, to go back into pod, to get the flute.
He's most certainly going to turn in his green pendant right now. Do you realize, like, this race is probably less than 30 seconds apart right now after all of this?
I know, it's so weird how...
This is insane.
How much these players have done and in weird orders and still kind of end up being, like, side by side. But here's the thing, with execution now, it's all about... I mean, they still have to route Meyer, and then, of course, they got to route G-Tower. And I don't know these players' routing options in G-Tower or Meyer, which way they go. Make it up on the fly.
You could make all that up in Meyer just from trying to find the big key.
Yeah, if we get a unfortunate big key, like, in its vanilla location or something.
Yeah, some people opt to do that last, and some people are like, whatever, it's here all the time, I might as well just check it first.
This is it. This is go mode. This is what we've been waiting for. Almost an hour and 40 minutes in for go mode.
Yeah, almost an hour and 39 minutes in go mode.
That's brutal. Oh man, I hope they have the right medallion. Oh, it was double bombos. Nice.
Oh yeah, don't even be started on GT routing. Oh man. Yeah, this is way too close to tell. AA again, he has about, I think, like a... Yeah, less than a minute lead here.
But that's the other thing is both these players have the exact same amount of firepower, Butter and Silvers, so, you know, it's not going to come down to a Ganon fight. Or maybe it will.
I think at this point they have literally exactly the same items, except Problems has 20 more rupees from the Blind's big chest. Makes me wonder if they ever check Zora from their money count, too.
I know, right? Problems has got to be feeling behind as well. Missing the early pod play, and then, once again, missing the second pod play.
I think at that point, though, I mean, again, when it comes down to, again, like, last places you look, you never feel like you're ahead. I feel like finding the flute there would make me feel a little bit better because of just where the hammer was. I would kind of know that my opponent probably did the same thing.
It's also crazy the fact, hey, powder, nice. We almost have all inventory. We just need to find a book, and then that's full inventory, at least potentially, since we know where Blue Cane is.
Do you think they'll get it?
I sure hope so. If they don't, I'll be very upset. But it's crazy to look at this placement that they are right now, with AA like about a minute ahead, roughly, when I recall AA going in for that hammerless Swamp Palace check, and you're like, there's no way. But that's the thing. Leads come and go. Like, it switches back and forth, and that's what makes this game so exciting to play and so exciting to watch.
Yeah, you gotta do commentary now. I just... My eyes are glued to the screen right now. I'm in full hype mode. I love this. This is incredible.
This is good stuff.
It's a sprint finish to the end, and they can actually sprint too. Like, it's amazing.
It just makes it even more like exciting. You know, running everywhere. Things are going real quick. Imagine if they had to walk through mire. Ugh, that'd be brutal. Okay, AA going for the right side check. This isn't a bad idea. It's a quick check. Oftentimes, though, it is usually like a key for a key to avoid a soft lock. But
there it is.
Bingo.
Say that would, if Problems would have checked the vanilla spot, like, this race would have been all but even.
Oh no. This is looking bad for Problems.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to check the vanilla one too. I don't know why you wouldn't just go check that other one while you were over there. So he might lose a little bit of time.
It's a 50-50. He might go back now and check it. Nah, he's going to go straight down.
Yeah, unfortunately he's going to lose a little bit of time here from the obnoxiously long cuts.
But there's still G-Tower, so...
yeah, I mean...
You can make... This game's not over. G-Tower is a make-or-break moment for either player.
God, that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just imagine doing the post-game interview with him and being like, so what was the big difference in the race? Well, he didn't check the vanilla big key location in Mire, and you did. And you're like, excuse me? What do you mean that was the difference?
There was a lot of... Yeah. I feel like a lot of times when players finish a race and they lose by, like, 30 seconds, their immediate instinct is like, well, I messed up the Ganon fight. Or, they immediately go to the very recent thing that they did. But throughout the entire race, there are, different time losses, time gains throughout. And, so you can't really just stick to, one idea about that. I don't know if that made sense. But...
That made perfect sense.
Okay, good. I tried. And we're going to see cape strats from AA.
I love this strategy.
I do too. It's really quick. But with 55 arrows...
I mean, I don't know if it's quicker or not, but I mean, as far as the fun factor goes, 10 out of 10.
You get a bully Vitreous. It's great.
So,
alright. Last crystal.
Finishes up his fight here. He's going to be just short of minute 44, so we can timestamp that to see how much of a lead Problems will have after he finishes.
Do you think our players are going to take a look inside Desert Palace, looking for that book? Maybe Checkerboard Cave? Or maybe...
a mail upgrade probably wouldn't be the worst thing, but, 22 chest and GT, and speaking of numbers, I'm already seeing a couple of them in the chat. Willard, why are they putting weird numbers in chat? And by that, I mean one person.
Some people just like spamming chat with numbers. It's a thing that people do. No, seriously, though. This is it, guys. This is the moment. We are trying to figure out where that G-Tower big key is located, and there are several locations. Something in the 20s, I don't remember. 27? No, that's in the entire dungeon. But I want you guys to throw out your ideas of where you think that big key is going to be. You think of Bob's chest? You thinking past Ice Armors? You want to say Rando Room? People love to see that tile room location come into play. That could be a big one if someone makes the crazy tile room gamble for some reason. Ak, what do you think it's going to be?
Me? Oh man, I can tell you exactly where it's going to be. It's going to be in the flame bar room.
Okay, the double fire bar room, the little spinning one.
Yeah, it's gonna be in that one.
Yeah. All right. I like that. I can get behind that. It's rarely ever there, but maybe this will be the one.
And if you did want to guess, even for you smart people out there, I would suggest a whole number between 1 and 22. Those are the numbers you're looking for.
After this seed, of course, we want to see a crazy big key location because it'll make the race a little bit closer. Because if it's like the first 3 chests or something, then it's just all execution from here on out. And I don't know. We've seen miracles happen.
This is Ganon's Tower. Literally anything can happen with routing in this one, and it was a minute and about 40 seconds different. That's the difference between left and right side, unfortunately.
Minute 40?
And I mean, that's just from the chest picks alone. You also have execution to go into play. It's not uncommon, You miss a cycle on Aga 2, you miss a cycle on Landmo 2.
You get knocked down by Troldorm.
Yeah, that happens too. Death.
You miss lighting the torches in the right side. Anything is possible at this point out. I believe both our players are highly capable of executing perfectly, but you never know. Nerves can get to you in these tournament races.
Yep. You got that IRC just sitting right there, like I'm on Ganon's Tower. He hasn't finished yet. What do you mean he hasn't finished? I've done every single item in this game. If he did, one less than me, he should be ahead.
Why am I looking at IRC right now? I should be focusing on the game.
I minimize it. I can't handle it.
Yeah, I can't either. I'd rather get the reveal once I'm done and be like, oh, I lost. All right, cool. Next game. Because otherwise I'll get tilted and I'll start playing poorly, or I'll start goofing around, like falling off of the arena and after beating Ganon.
Or you just stare at it when you could have won, but instead I'm looking at IRC and falling in the same hole over and over again. I'll do it.
For that. All right, nothing yet. Lots of small keys. AA going for the full left side play.
Yep, I told you there was a small key in that flame bar room.
Yeah, I heard key. I don't remember you said big or small key, so
you didn't ask me.
True. Oh man, nothing yet. And without that right side small key,
yeah, it kind of makes going right a little bit of a strange play.
But at this point,
I mean,
if they're both going to take the same route, then this gives AA a pretty good advantage.
Most definitely. There is the weird route to go and kill the skeletons, and if you get a key, you go back. Oh, it was first mail upgrade in the rando room.
Can we get a second?
We got a single arrow.
Oh, hey.
So instead of 51 arrows, yes, 52 now. That should be enough to finish Ganon off. With good aim. Alright, he's killing these skeletons off, so I think we're gonna have similar routes from them.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's one of the things. It's like, if you have a safe... I feel like the left side play is the safest play to make. Because, right side is always on the table, but if it ends up being in like a rando room or something, or even like in that Stalfos room, you're wondering like, oh man, that's a big time loss to go clear all the right side, at least to the 4 chest room. I don't know, man. There's no good way to route this dungeon. You just gotta hope and pray that you find the right key.
Are you telling me right now that the locations are random? Is this really what you're trying to tell me?
I've looked at the numbers, and the numbers say that they are relatively random, yes.
There it is, in the Armos room. So if you were guessing that number,
yeah, that one right there. If you were guessing this many, as I hold up my hands, then you are correct.
Tell them what they win, Willard.
You win An all expenses paid vacation to watch the rest of the stream knowing that you are right and everyone else was wrong, and you are fully entitled to brag about it.
Whoa!
That's all on you.
That's a lot of value there. I wish I would have guessed a different number.
Yeah, maybe you should think about routing your big key guesses next time a little bit better.
Does this mean I don't have to watch anymore, or I can watch, I just don't get to feel good about myself?
You can go play Cuphead or something. I don't know. I don't care. It's your life. You do. I'm gonna go get some more coffee. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna stick right here. I'm not going anywhere.
No, this is too close. This is intense.
But yeah, here's the thing. Like, Problems could catch up with some. If AA drops some execution patterns, on Landmola 2, or has some trouble in some of the rooms in the Gauntlet, but with Silver Arrows and Butter Sword, all this stuff that'll make the Gauntlet so much easier, especially Blue Mail too. That's really nice to have. I don't know what it's gonna take for Problems to catch up.
It's got the banana hat and the banana sword.
And the banana head, since he's a frog.
Oh, I was talking about AA.
Oh yeah, sure.
AA is adopting these bombos here.
That's good.
Yeah, they were kind of in a weird back corner there. They're kind of obnoxious to get to.
Yeah, you can kind of inadvertently spend a lot of time trying to get them. Also, I despise when that happens.
Yeah, that was
that
really
person just walks right by. Is like, "Oh, see you. I'll see you guys later."
And then the one in the bottom went back up top, and they were just playing merry-go-round there. So this is probably one of the real big tests of execution here and time saving. Lammo 2, kind of obnoxious, especially when you don't get that first arrow. It kind of really falls apart after that.
Yeah,
but
he's hit all of them once, so he should be able to get a 2-cycle.
Did really well with the backup strats, hitting him with the butter sword when he missed his arrows.
It's a pretty good backup strat.
Yeah.
You'd almost think it'd be like the initial strat, but yeah. Honestly, if you miss that first silver arrow, you'd be better off just going for slashes alone, or maybe switching to fire out, because as soon as that arrow misses, I'm like, I'm tilted. I'm gonna miss some more. It's gonna happen.
I understand 100%. That's usually why I end up sticking with it, because I'm like, I can do this, and then an hour later, I finish my Lammo too.
All right, A moving into the first torch room. Problems utilizing the fire rod for a lot of these, which is nice. Though it does take a little bit of time for each of the enemies to disintegrate, essentially. It's a good, fast range weapon.
Yeah, the area on it's much bigger than the arrows as well, so it's a lot easier to line up your shots. It gets a nice complimentary full magic drop there.
Seriously.
Nice.
What a convenient find. Oh my gosh, Problems, your menuing is so slick. Tell me your secrets.
He does get the 1-cycle, so he's going to make some time.
That's good.
Still a little bit behind here, but I mean, this can all come down to a fall on Moldorm, a couple extra cycles on Agatsu, or a fall on Ganon. That would be heartbreaking.
Here's the thing. I mean, everyone in the main tournament is exceptional at this game.
He almost got it twice. Did you see that?
Everybody has their moments where they just misinterpret Ganon's pattern or do something, and then poof, you're falling off. It happens. It happens to the best of us. I'm sitting here trying to be hopeful that something will happen to make this a closer race, because we like really close races. But honestly, this looks like it's going to be AA's game.
It's definitely AA's to lose. Most certainly has been since Meyer. Problems has made up a little bit of time, but unfortunately he's running out of time to make up time.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because part of it kind of comes down to that 50-50 of Thieves Town Big Chest versus Palace of Darkness. Nice 0. Sorry, that was me.
Wow. Unfortunately, you didn't quite get him there.
All right, we got 1.
I think that was 1 again.
Yeah, they look like him at the same time.
There's 1 and there was a blue ball.
That's another 1.
Ooh, that's a good lineup here, though.
This should do it.
All
nice.
Right. 1113. Excuse me, 01113. I am a robot.
I don't think there are 3s in that. I think they use 3s.
Maybe not when you were growing up.
Pretty sure.
I don't know.
We're not going to get into that. We're going to move on. Anyway, hey, moving on to the Ganon fight. He's got this.
Yeah.
It's butter, silvers, blue mail, easy peasy. Easy fight.
Outside of a fall, he's in the
I want to see a
wheelhouse,
triple.
I'd say. Yeah, I guess that a little more difficult to line up than it looked.
That was pretty good.
That was a good double there. AA is on the second phase here. Being good, not taking any damage. It's very easy to get one cycles with the butter sword. You're really not in too much of a time constraint. Only takes 6 hits.
He's got to be careful. Moving on to phase 3.
Yep, so commentary is not on the edge of their seats right now in full silent mode because this race is awesome.
I'm watching.
I know I am. I can't talk. I'm like glued to my screen.
There's one.
Ooh, he's not going to get the slash there, but he's got time.
There's another one. This should be 2.
Didn't get it. That's alright. Man, it's going to be less than like a minute apart almost.
Yeah, it's going to be real close. There you have it,
GG
guys.
to AA.
GG to AA. Wow, what a crazy run. So many back and forths, and then it came down to a gamble on Ice Palace, and then a 50-50 on a pendant dungeon, and then just some minor gambles, or not gambles, but choices in the final dungeons. Both players making the same routes in G Tower made it pretty clear, one-sided. Well, not one-sided, but there was no gambles in G Tower to be had, so...
So you just basically had to clear the light world in this seed, go to pod, go to Stumpy, and then clear Ice Palace, then go back to pod, and you were in go mode.
What did Stumpy have again?
He had bombos.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you needed the bombos because the fire rod was hammer locked.
Cool. We're gonna get these amazing players
Shoot
in.
bombs.
We got AA with a 156.44 and Problems IRL with a 157.28. GG's to both these players for what a ridiculous run. Wow. And that's less than a minute. That sounds about right for a main tournament race. Let's pull them in. Hey, Problems.
Hello.
What an insane ending.
That flute was the worst I've ever seen.
It was pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it was. This seed was something else with that hammer in ice.
Yeah,
And,
it was.
It was a good one though.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with any question I have for you. How'd you feel overall about the seed? It came down to a forced Aga Tower, looking for those sequence breaks to skip it, but that didn't happen. And then
I assume AA tried that as much as I did.
yeah,
I was itching really hard to go to Ice Palace right after pod, but I didn't do it. I guess I should have gone with my gut instinct, but it's really hard to go there without the hammer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not a very fun play to make, to go there without the hammer. Like finding a hammer in there is almost like finding, it's like it's almost like as bad as an item in a vanilla location.
Yeah,
you don't expect it to be there. You don't want it to be there.
You don't want it to be there, yeah. Because who wants to go to Ice Palace twice?
And it's just a time investment, all in all. Especially, if you end up having to go mode the dungeon, it's outside of pod. I mean, pod had like every single item you needed to complete the game almost inside of it.
Yeah, pod had everything, and that's the last place I went once I gained Dark World access as well.
Ice was in the last place I checked. I had available, like the hammer, and then the flute was almost in the last location I checked.
Yeah. We'll wait for A to get in here before I start throwing out a bunch of. Before I start talking about the C2 or your Earl's play individually too much, so he can chime in with his stuff. But yeah, that was a ridiculously back and forth race.
I can imagine, yeah.
With,
if I hadn't killed blind, I would have actually won this.
See, this is the thing. It's like you put it on one action that you did, but
yeah, exactly.
Not knowing exactly what. There's a lot of different Meyer routing played a big part in the race as well. Thieves Town, Big Chest, etc. But yeah, it was a fun one to watch, and it was another one of those situations where it's like, man, we just want both these racers to win. Can we get a tie for these guys? Come on. It was so good. It was so good. It was fun to watch. But yeah, I guess I'll start by asking, what do you think of that butter sword so early?
I felt really bad as soon as I got the second sword, because I was like, oh, this is going to be Aga, is it? And I was just in Hyrule Castle at the time, so
yeah.
I hadn't done South Shore, so it was really hard to go to Agahnim, but I really wanted to. And then I was like, and then I eventually found that butter, and I was like, well, at least the game is going to make it easy for us.
Yeah, that's always nice. All right, I'm going to bring AA in real quick. Hey! Congrats on your win.
Congrats.
Hey, yeah, good game, Problems.
Good game. That was close, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of figured we had to be right on each other's heels at the end.
Yeah, exactly.
I hadn't seen it got done, and the seed could have been much faster if you took the kind of gambles that sane players don't make. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I was really thinking about going straight to ice when I found combos.
I said the same thing, yeah.
Without hammer, that's a really bad gamble, especially with Hera, all that Death Mountain stuff, Thieves still on the table, like. So I played, the safe numbers, and they didn't come up good at all, and ice was the answer.
Yeah, it was interesting to watch the lead changing back and forth. The biggest lead initially was AA going into Pod immediately after Aga, right?
I had a feeling, yeah. I was really worried about that.
Yeah, and then it ended up having, Ice Rod, which was required, and then Mitz and Mir. We were wondering, though, because getting Mir and Mitz makes it so that when you do your Dark World routing, you end up checking a lot of extra stuff, and a lot of those extra stuff didn't really give you anything. I think you got like a blue boomerang from Gary's lunchbox, the purple chest, and stuff like that. So, but then when Problems went back to Pod eventually and got it, he still went ahead and checked all those spots as well. Another big moment was the Ice Palace play by Problems while AA was checking the first chest in Swamp Palace and finding a red rupee. So that was a huge moment right there. And then I think what happened was it just came down to, let's see. I want to talk about T-Rock. You guys both saw the blue cane on the floating island, and you're like, I have to do T-Rock. I don't have the boots yet. Laser Bridge is kind of when you don't have, an easy way to skip those lasers in a bit.
Right, I got Laser Bridge.
Yeah, AA got lucky, and he cleared all of Swamp, finding the cape in the big chest. So
I see.
His Laser Bridge was a little quicker.
I'm usually very confident in my Laser Bridge. Like, I don't have much trouble with it. I just choked really hard. I don't know what was up with
well, the beetle knocking you off the platform killing you right there was extremely unfortunate, because you're like, I'm going to go set up the safety door, and I'm dead. All right, let's try that again.
Hey, the beetle killed me too, but after I had all 4 chests. Just burned the fairy.
Oh, yeah, he knocked you off, and then you were like frantically like, "Can I heal while I'm falling? Do I have a fairy?" All right, we're good.
I mean, you can't heal while you're falling anyway.
Yeah,
that menu was a complete waste of time, but it was. I think
it was like it was a panic moment.
Yeah.
And then at that point, it was like, okay, let's check some of the the boots options and whatnot. And now it's the 50-50. AA had already done all of Thieves Town, while Problems had just done the beginning of Thieves Town. So Problems went back and checked Peg Caves and then finished all of Thieves Town to get the pendant.
Yeah.
Big Chest had money, I think.
Yeah, I had money, and then I was like debating whether I should do blind or not because
we saw you
desert
open up the save and quit, and then we saw you switch to the mirror, and you're like, "Is he gonna do it? No, he's not, or he's gonna go for it." And it's a good.
I was totally convinced Flute was on pedestal.
Yeah, exactly. I
I
figured the book would just be in pod at that point.
It's not a bad idea to go ahead and kill blind, because if you end up going to Helmassar and Sahasrahla doesn't have anything or Helmassar doesn't have anything, even though he had a mushroom, which is funny, then that does open up the pedestal and you don't have to go back and kill blind again or go back to Thieves Town again. But yeah, while you were doing Thieves Town, AA was already in pod, so he was already quite ahead going into Mire, and then he checked right side first while you did the vanilla location. So that set a huge gap between you two, and then you guys did the exact same route in G Tower. So at that point, it came down to execution and everything. Yeah, it was kind of hard. The big key location was kind of a solidifying point in the race, but overall, though,
G Tower was structured in a way. There's
you could
one.
Really gamble.
Well, honestly, every route would have finished it in about the same time, because even that old DM route where you started by doing the Stalfos room and then going down right side would have still found big key in about the same time.
Mm-hmm. Though then you would have missed the blue mail in the randomizer room, but then at the same time you could have found blue mail on the other side. So
yeah, who knows where the other mail was?
I don't know. But yeah, overall, it was a fantastic race. GG's to both you guys for putting on a good show.
Thank you.
Yeah. Going into Mire, you guys were actually literally, I think, 45 seconds apart from each other at that point. And then Problems, you did go check the vanilla big key chest, whereas AA didn't. So you did have that little bit of a time save from that cutscene. But it was really fun to watch.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys so much. Any last words about this race or how you're going to prepare for your next one?
No.
I don't know. I guess I could have gambled harder, but I won anyway, so that's all good.
That's a good way to put it. Just hope for a better seed next time, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I was happy with how I played. It was a seed that forced a near full clear. It sounds like Problems and I had pretty similar runs with, a slight route difference that caused him to check 2 more spots being the difference.
At that point,
pretty good race.
At that point, Thieves Town was the play for me because I had 3 items in that location as opposed to the 2 in pod, and it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm all religious about never going into Thieves unless you're willing to clear it if you don't find anything. So I stuck to my religion early in the game and got my map and red pendant. So for me, the logic was different.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Especially because, pod kind of combos with Super Bomb.
That's actually a good point, yeah.
Yeah, because I did 2 Dark World map checks. The first one to find what the pendants were, and after Turtle Rock, I did another one to see if Skull Woods was 6.
Yeah, it was funny that ended up not leading to anything. The double-chested fairy had nothing. It was a ruse. Now the question is, what is behind that mushroom that you guys found? We'll never know. Someone load that. Someone go back and check.
I thought, hey, I could fake powder with this. And I thought for a second, and I'm like, if Flute is behind Magic Bat, then I'll find real powder soon enough anyway. That's pointless. My next step is the Witch, except on my way, Sahas gave me the Flute, so that didn't happen.
And then powder was in Mire anyway, so.
Wonderful, just free safety item there.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah, that powder was nice.
But, anywho, alrighty. Thank you guys so much for letting us commentate. I hope you guys had fun racing. I hope everyone in chat had fun watching. GG's to both the players as well. Thank you, Ak, for joining me on commentary, or allowing me to join you, however you want to spin that. It's your thing. And Dude for tracking this amazing race. Fiesel for the restream. Make sure to follow all the links. They're in chat right now. Click them. They'll take you to places. They'll take you on an adventure. I don't know. See what happens. As for schedule for Randomizer, we have a 10 p.m. main tournament race between Feral Pigman and Maximum Barnage, supposedly on Speed Gaming, the main channel, as well as on the secondary tournament, we have a 6 p.m. race, Lunatrix or Zintanel versus Duke Firebird over on Randomizer Mania 2. As for what's going on this channel, I don't know. I don't have the schedule. Anyone know? I don't know.
I might be able to find it.
But anyway, that'll do it for us here. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys.
Yeah, thanks for commentating and hosting.
Thank you guys for the awesome run.